Baby. Butt whooping. Nice little butt whooping. Please, everybody, welcome to the Winner's Lounge. Presented by Bet365. Download the Bet365 app and use the code DNVR365 when you sign up. Choose your offer, find out why, whatever the moment. Never ordinary at Bet365. How are we doing our bets tonight, Dev?
We weren't ordinary. We had a pretty good night, man. Nothing is ever ordinary.
I like it. We're also in the Toyota Winners Lounge, driven by your Front Range Toyota stores. Toyota, the official vehicle of DNVR. Hop in the Toyota chat for us. Maybe, Kale, you could put a poll up when you get a chance. Who has impressed the most? Who could we even put on this poll? Because I think there's more than 4 candidates. I think you could say Julian, Peyton, probably Jamal.
Tonight, Jamal for sure.
You could say Westbrook. I got some DeAndre Jordan answers when I was on Twitter. He deserves it too.
You got to throw DeAndre
maybe we leave him off that just for fun. We got a lot to get to. We're going to talk about both these games because I feel like you could almost package them together. And there's a lot of takeaways. I got Brendan Vogt in the house with me.
8-0, fellas. 8-0 on the second half of back-to-backs.
Ain't no thing.
Nuggets are a very weird team. I would just say there are a lot of teams where you could put your finger on what they're going to be good at and what they're going to be bad at and what that tells you about them. And I feel here we are on January 8th, still learning a lot about this Nuggets team.
Still learning a lot indeed. Superstar Dev's in the building.
It's wild. Back-to-backs. They look incredible on them. It's as if they want to play them. That is weird. Now that you say it, it is weird to play so much better on the second night of a back-to-back. I'll take it, though.
They have 8 more back-to-backs this year. So what are they?
8-0, I believe.
8-0. So we're halfway through the back-to-backs. If they could go 16-0 on back-to-backs, it'd actually be pretty crazy, man.
I want them to win 2 in a row, though.
That's true.
How about they start reeling together like a streak?
I would love a streak. The Nuggets are not a streak team.
That's what I mean. That's been your season. Look, you may lose the first one, but you're going to win the second one. That's what we're dealing with.
Let's do a fast breakdown, shall we? It's very short because this game ended at halftime, basically, at the start of the second half, so it's going to be a short one. First note, Murray and MPJ hitting shots.
That was nice.
Remember how they came out on fire? The defense was also getting stops. I mean, it is worth noting. The Clippers pregame, they talked about the fires in LA are kind of a crazy story in America right now, certainly in Los Angeles.
Big deal.
Maybe they'd be a little distracted. They looked a little distracted, to be honest with you.
Yes.
Not taking any credit away from the Nuggets. They looked awesome.
Sure.
The play of the day, perhaps. Russ, offensive rebound on a free throw. PWat gets a steal in transition. Michael Porter Jr. pulls up for 3 and on the other way. Awesome sequence, man. Maybe my favorite of the entire year.
You know, people say they don't like when people chuck threes, Dev, but chucking threes is one thing. But when you play defense, rebound, move the ball, and then you get a 3, that's a great pop, man.
That's when you can chuck it, man. 33-19 Nuggets at the end of 1. And in the second quarter, Julian Strawther on fire. And he's debuting a new celebration. He's been doing it for a little bit here, but he's debuting the thumbs down. We saw a lot of thumbs down tonight. I dig it. We'll talk about that later. Nuggets built a 25-point lead. Lost a little focus going into the half, so Clippers were able to cut it to 15, 65-50. But in the third quarter, Nuggets just were cooking right from the jump. They were cooking, put this game away, and it was garbage time for the last, 18 minutes of this one. Nuggets get a dominant win, 128-103. No Munder, but that's all right. Let's go to our Red Hawk Roofing big takeaways. Superstar Dev, start us off.
My Red Hawk Roofing big takeaway is this was a vibey win. Yeah. And that's just something that we haven't seen in a long time. And what we truly haven't seen or been able to say in a long time that I truly want to say.
I've been thinking it too.
All the Nuggets are good.
All the Nuggets are good.
Even Dario Saric. Come on,
bro.
You got to put them with the fellas tonight. You
got
to put them with the fellas.
Hunter
Everyone
Tyson
looked good. Everybody came in and was impactful. They were involved. Everybody had good energy. Everybody played with a sense of urgency. And you truly do want to see that from this Nuggets squad, especially without their best player, the best player in the NBA, the best player in the world was not there tonight, and he was not missed in this type of game because this was a full team effort. So truly, the great philosopher said it, all the Nuggets are good, and I truly believe that.
I believe it right now, too. And honestly, it's kind of a storyline that not just Jamal, who's the high-profile player, but Peyton, Julian, like guys are starting to look better, more confident, a little more comfortable. Not just this game, but, you know, it has been coming. This one,
different guys scored double digits.
7 players in double figures. All the Nuggets are indeed good. Good takeaway.
My big takeaway is I can't believe how much fun it is to watch Russell Westbrook every night. And I mean,
It's a great takeaway.
I can't believe it. It's just we never did it. Like Russ loyalists and Thunder diehards. I cannot imagine.
You get it.
But can you imagine in his peak?
I know.
Because to me, it's you're 36 and you still want this more than anyone on the floor. That is the relentlessness is so fun to watch, and I just can't. I mean, I obviously saw Russ play. You know, just big playoff games, national TV games. But the way we follow the Nuggets, some people followed Westbrook, and I bet following him in his heyday was something else. Because even right now in 2025, it's a whole lot of fun.
It is a whole lot of fun, man. You totally get it. I think I'm going to create a burner account. A Westbrook Stan burner account and
do
just
it, yeah.
fight everybody on
We're
the
in.
internet. It kind of sounds fun, man.
There's
sound
already
fun.
1,000 of them.
Well, I'm just going to join it.
Yeah,
I'm
we're
gonna
joining
join
the
it.
army, bro.
It is true, man. Westbrook is a huge story. He's just fun to watch. He's fun to root for because it's not just the game. There's the game. You know, how does he play? He plays well. He's playing really well. But it's the other stuff. You know, there's a difference between a layup and a dunk. There's a difference between like a jog back and a scream at the crowd back. Russ gives you all the extra stuff.
Yep.
Non-stop talking shit in a cool way, getting the crowd pumped. Everything he does the coolest version of it.
This was a show. Like, he really is an entertainer.
Yeah.
When you're at the games, when you're watching it on TV, the camera is following him the whole time, and he's making sure that he delivers at every moment. This was a deliverable. This was an award ceremony type of night from Russell Westbrook, where he's pumping up the crowd. He's chatting with the other team, and it's not in a disrespectful way. It's just like, hey, I'm trying to bring the best out of you. You guys are. We're competitors. We're competing. We're going at it the entire time, and really, it is the energy.
Yes.
It's the energy with Russ, and I mean, we talked about it earlier. There was a lot of complaints early on with the whole Russell Westbrook experience from stands saying that all we talk about is Russ. The energy with Russell Westbrook. Do you know why we talked about that being it?
Because the Nuggets desperately needed it.
It's what
Big
they
time.
needed the most
Big
from
time.
a guy that just comes in and just plays with that type of. It's macho. It's macho man like that. Everybody else wants to get involved. That's what Russell Westbrook is. Like he makes you feel cool.
He brings speed. He brings transition. He brings another table setter specifically for Yoke, although tonight you see him setting everybody up. But this year, mostly it's been setting the table for Yoke. He brings those things, but it is true. The number one thing the Nuggets needed was somebody that brings that every night. Almost every team has one. Some teams have lots of them. Denver didn't have one. They really didn't have that guy since Bruce left, and we knew they needed it. I just didn't know he had this much of it.
It's unbelievable. And when you are at the arena, lucky enough as a fan or meter, otherwise, you get to see just how many moments he's responsible for by. It's not just that the crowd reacted. He insisted they react.
Yeah.
He sensed it was a moment. And to be honest, the Nuggets, since the playoffs started last year, they lose games at home. And it's been a weird stop and start year with injuries, or you lose the first one, but then you win the second. It just hasn't been a smooth, like an easy runway for the crowd to just kind of get up and stand and cheer all year long. But Russ will kind of make those moments happen within a game. And they're so important. When you're in the arena, you can sense it. You know, what like these guys, I think, get a little pep in their step.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, we're those guys. Russ is on our team.
Yeah.
And it's cool.
And it's picking up even. I feel like the guys are starting to feel it more and more, get comfortable with it more and more. My Red Hawk Roofing big takeaway. If Yoke was healthy these last 2 games, I think they would have gone 1-1. It's possible they would have gone 2-0. It's entirely possible they would have beaten Boston. I mean, who knows? But probably if I was just looking at the schedule, I look at a back-to-back against 2 good teams, I go probably 1-1. They went 1-1. And I actually think you never want Yoke to get sick. You never want him to miss a game. I love watching him. I think in a weird way, this has been good and important for the Nuggets to play 2 games, 2 important, big, tough games in a row without him. Because the non-Jokic minutes have not been good this year. And I almost feel like there's a weight around the team because of that. You know, a weight around the team of like, everybody knows what they're saying. Jokic had 50, we still lose, everybody letting him down. There's a pressure that comes with that. And there's also probably a pressure of playing, when Jokic's on the court, you have to play the right way. You have to. When he's not, a little chaos is okay. You know, like get a little crazy, this or that. I just feel like this game in particular, but really the last 2, there has been a freeness to the team.
Yes.
Again, this is not a critique of Jokic at all. But there's been almost a freeness to the team, and they played well. In both games, they played well. And I just think there's something to like, okay, we can do this, you know, resets the table, gives guys an opportunity to play more minutes, to shine, do different things. And I just feel in a weird way, we're going to look back. It's almost the exact midpoint of the season. And the non-Jokic games, could end up being a turning point where everybody got a little bit more confidence and got to hit the reset button. And now hopefully Jokic comes back.
You talked about like the biggest point of this all. This is it's a bit more chaotic, but it's a lot more free flowing. It does not, feel robotic, and it's people going back to like instincts. It's players just playing off of instincts. You're seeing, Jamal Murray try to break, people down and be able to over dribble, because when he's there, it's like, why are you dribbling? You have the best player in basketball. You have the best play in basketball. Give it to him and move. You see a Michael Porter Jr. being able to put more shots up and, shoot it in different ways. Russell Westbrook, he's going to be himself no matter what. But now you're seeing the young guys even get to step up and step in. Julian Strawther, Peyton Watson are getting to explore their game a little bit and seeing what they have there. And now if you implement that with a Jokic-led offense, it's a little bit of everything. So you could have the ball is popping. You could get back to playing within the flow of the offense. But if you have to step out and audible, do that. So I do think this is important for the players to see, for Jokic to see, for the coaching to see. Like it's a newfound belief of, hey, those are the guys that I want to go out there and play. And then they felt good. This was really, it was vibey because they were having a good time.
Yeah, it's so true, Dev. And maybe best for, you never know, right? We're just sitting here kind of
bullshitting.
Yeah, throwing stuff at the wall, right? But perhaps best for Peyton Watson and Julian Strawther, who I thought played with a certain freedom and confidence in the last 2 games that, again, just to be very, very clear, we're not saying things get worse when Jokic is out there, not at all. But there's just something to like, hey, you're going to get a lot of minutes tonight, and the structure may not be what you're used to, and we may need you to go make a play here and there. And there's so the kind of minutes that can help you just be a bit more confident when the structure returns and it's your moment to hit a big shot, or you get to play 2 more minutes in the fourth. For me, I think Peyton and Julian really seized this moment. And they're young guys. They could have bad games again coming up, but hopefully it's a building block for their confidence, the way they just kind of embraced it and played really hard and played really confidently.
How could it not be, man? Also, homestands, I think it's underrated when a team doesn't get to be home for multiple games, because I do think you get a rhythm there. Being on the road's tough, even for pro athletes. There's just a lot of 3 a.m. check-ins to hotels and weird bed and this or that. Just being home and steadying, and then to your point, getting this opportunity to play a little bit more loose and a little bit more free is big. Do you guys remember that scene? And have you seen Whiplash? You know that movie?
Of course.
No?
Great
Don't
movie.
know this movie? It's a great movie. You'd love it, Dev.
Absolutely. Yeah, keep going. I remember the part.
Playing with Jokic sometimes is like the scene where he's like, are you rushing or are you dragging?
Right.
Slapping him and this and that. Where it's like, hey, there's a system here and there's a right and wrong, and you got to play within it. And that can be a little tough. And then sometimes it's like, hey, man, this is a free jam. You just go out there and jam a little bit. And I just feel like that's what these last 2 games have been a little bit of a like, oh, that's right. Feel the game, feel this, and now you can refocus and try to execute, because we all know the Jokic way is the top way. That's how you win the title. But tonight it does feel like the Nuggets get a little bit of a rejuvenation. I love it. All right, let's take our first break on the other side. Let's start talking about all these players. Let's start breaking down who impressed us the most. We'll go into the weeds here on the other side. Dev, Whiplash? Not quite my tempo.
You know what is my tempo? HelloFresh, where you get farm fresh, pre-portioned ingredients and seasonal recipes delivered right to your doorstep, making cooking easy. And cooking's actually great when they tell you exactly what to do and give you all of the ingredients. I find what's most challenging about it is how I have no idea what to do and I never have any of the ingredients. But with HelloFresh, that is not a problem. I also skip trips to the grocery store to count on HelloFresh to make home cooking easy, fun, and affordable. That is why they are America's #1 meal kit. If you're tired of figuring out what's for dinner night after night, especially on those busy weekdays, get dinner done the easy way thanks to HelloFresh. It's easy to find time to eat well with over 50 wholesome, hassle-free meals to choose from each week, delivered right to your door. You can get up to 10 free meals and a free high-protein item for life at HelloFresh.com/Nuggets10FM. That is Nuggets10FM. 1 item per box with active subscription. Free meals applied as discount on first box. New customers only. New subscribers only. Varies by plan. That's up to 10 free HelloFresh meals. Just go to HelloFresh.com/Nuggets10FM. Bit different than our usual code, so try to remember that one. And of course, Bet365, where it's never ordinary. What is ordinary is on the pregame shows 30 minutes before every Nuggets tip-off, we like to talk about the game, preview the game, topics at large, and we always end by going to Superstar Dev, who hands out his locks and his favorite bets at Bet365. They are an official partner of the Denver Nuggets and the Colorado Avalanche, the pioneers of live betting. They love to give you tons of boosts and different ways to bet, including custom DNVR boosts, so keep your eyes peeled for that. New customers get $150 in bonus bets when you bet $5. Sign up, use the code DNVR365, deposit $10, and place a bet for $5 to get $150 in bonus bets. Whatever the moment, it is never ordinary at Bet365. You have to be 21 or older, physically located in Colorado. Please gamble responsibly. If you or someone you know has a gambling problem and wants help, call or text 1-800-GAMBLER.
All right, we're going to get into our title question here, which is who has impressed the most in the 2 non-Jokic games. And we're going to, in no particular order, but we're going to start with Russell Westbrook. 29 minutes tonight, 19 points, 6 rebounds, 8 assists, was a plus 18, 8 of 16 shooting. Pretty good and effective night for him. My thought on Russ is he's obviously been great in the Jokic minutes, but has not necessarily been great in the non-Jokic minutes, but he has been great in these last 2 without Jokic. And my whole thought with the Nuggets right now, Dev, is I just don't think they have enough shooters. And part of the problem is when you play with Jokic, you have an open paint. You know, it's easy to do this, but when you don't, especially if you're putting these staggers together that only have like one of Mike or Jamal on, do you really have any spacing? Julian was hitting shots tonight, but also Russ is playing with Michael Porter and Murray a lot. There's part of me that goes, the best thing that can happen for the Nuggets is that they solve their non-Jokic minutes. To do that, you need shooting. Well, Strawther helps out, but they still might need another one because Russ can carry a 5-man lineup if you just build it to his strengths, clearly.
Yeah, and I think that they have adjusted to just building things to Russ and pretty much catering to like his strengths and what he brings to the table. The good thing with Russell Westbrook, of what we've seen as of late is he typically is only good with Jokic. Last 2 nights, there has been no Jokic. He still has been playing that same type of way, and you could put that in the same way as a stagger and look at it like that. I think the biggest push when it comes to Russell Westbrook and what makes him a strength is if you truly believe that Jamal has been playing bad right now, I can only imagine what he'll be playing if they didn't have another ball handler, another guy that they could put the ball in his hands and let him create or him try to attack a defense, because it would only be on Jamal, but it's not right now. Russell Westbrook he easily breaks people down off the dribble. He's great in ISO and he's finishing around the rim right now. But he's an alpha that everyone is adapting to. And when you don't have your alpha, you don't have your best player there, you have a guy that they could go with. So I think that was that's big for the Nuggets right now.
Westbrook,
I agree. The shooting thing is important. I do wonder about, and they have done this, kind of trying the Mike bench minutes again.
Yeah.
It doesn't just have to be Mike. It can be Mike and Jamal, but particularly the 7 points Mike scored to start the fourth quarter without Jokic in their win over, I'm blanking now, fellas, but was it the Hawks? I can't remember.
The big win?
No, the one where Porter had the 21-point second half. Very recently. There's a glimpse into how my brain works. But he was really good in the non-Jokic minutes. He scored 7 points in those minutes to start the game. But again, though, it's not actually just he has to get the ball and shoot. It's your point, spacing around Russ. And teams are face guarding Michael Porter Jr. well far from the hoop. And so I think it's a good look. And, you have to pair him with shooters, though. And I think Julian and Mike flanking him is probably the move.
Yeah. I love it, man. Westbrook gets our player of the game. I think this one was pretty obvious. A lot of guys played well, but Russ was the guy tonight. Brody was the guy. Let's move on now. I want to go to Julian Strawther next. 31 minutes, 16 points, 4 rebounds, 2 assists, plus 18. 5 of 10 shooting, 4 of 8 from 3. 8 of his 10 shots from the three-point line. And Dev, he's starting to make them. He played with confidence tonight. This was probably the most confident he's played. And you know what? Julian is a guy built for making his threes because his celebration is fun. But he hadn't been making them, so we haven't been doing it.
Yeah, you can't celebrate if things are not going good for you. This has been a great stretch for him because, I've been pretty hard on Strawther. There was a belief whenever he shot the ball, I did not believe the shot was going in. It's been going in lately, and it's creating space. It's creating extra scoring opportunity. Also, he's not a player that the ball gravitates towards him, so they're running off of screens. He has pin downs. He's getting it up as soon as he touches it, he shoots the ball every single time. That he's a tough cover. So when he's making shots, that second unit that they have something that's going for them, and they have a guard that they could go through. Rather you have it as Jamal with the stagger, or you have Russell Westbrook there. You have a guard that can feed you the ball and get you going. That is also dangerous because all attention is on them. So I think that has been great that Julian Strawther has been ready to score in different ways. Also defensively, he's a little bit more locked in. It's not just let's send him on an island and see how we could score on him. I'm not seeing a lot of those dumb, and one fouls that he was giving up. You could tell that he's putting a little bit of onus on himself of I have to get better on this end of the floor and putting in, a little bit more work for that. So I tip my hat to Julian right now, but he really makes the Nuggets better when he's scoring, and right now he's scoring.
They need him, man. They need him to make these shots, and they need him to score.
He's a big swing player in the rotation right now because, and I like Julian as a prospect, so I don't want this to sound just malicious, but right now when Julian's bad, he is honestly one of the worst rotation players around. But
for sure.
When he's good, he is a guy giving them 13 plus off a bench, offensive spark. Sometimes I really like the way he rebounds, actually. The little small thing from Julian. My big thing with Julian, though, if you are looking for reason to buy stock, is I said this in the pregame show. You get a sense sometimes talking to the guys in their early years of what their perspective is on this as a career and professionalism and all that. And I just think Julian is a guy who understands this is his career. When they send him to the G League, he takes that seriously. When he gets the summer league minutes, he takes that seriously. Played through the ankle sprain. I just think he's thinking about this. He knows the defense needs to get better. He knows he can't foul as much. There will still be low marks. There will still be poor performances. But I like that Julian, I think, is very cognizant as a competitor.
What do you guys make of the celebration?
It's great.
I'm with it. It's got to be Gladiators. Has anybody asked him about it? No, he doesn't do anything. He just goes straight.
And I don't know. He might not know Gladiator, man. How old is Julian? But
it's kind of pertinent now, and I just saw it now.
That's true. The other one
he keeps doing it too. It's a cool one because he's making it, but I don't get why
it's subversive. It's opposite of
I was about to say, why would you make a basket and do that?
Is it like this guy? This guy can't guard me.
This guy, do we know? Have we not talked about it yet?
We've talked about it.
Oh, that's why he's playing well. Oh, I get it. Hey, man, you want to know something funny? Maybe? Honestly, kind of lines up.
He's been making threes.
He's been making threes.
I remember him not making threes.
They're for real. I mean, it really could be as simple as that. But I actually love it. I like when guys have their own, everybody kind of does the same things or whatever. Ice in my veins. There's 2 or 3 that everyone does. I like when you have your own, even if it's a little weird.
Strong agree.
That's what I like.
I love it.
Peyton Watson, 9 points, 4 rebounds, 1 assist, 1 steal, 2 blocks. The line is actually not that impressive, the stat line. But I always say this about Julian. It's not about the stat line. That guy's a monster defender, man. And he has these skills that pop. He is he really is a baby deer in some ways where you're like, you could see like, oh, that's going to be great when he can get it together. Some of the passing, he had a great oop tonight. Some of the stuff he does. Defensively, though, he's an absolute beast. That guy just impacts so many plays. The rotation he had late, the game was kind of over. You know, it's probably third quarter or something, but he had one of those rotations late where there's 4 seconds on the clock. It was not his rotation, but he just knew there wasn't enough time for the ball to swing around, so he just sprinted to the next guy, challenged the shot, and I think he blocked it or got a finger on it. He just closes the gap, goes after everything, and he's such a high-impact defender, and I feel like he's having his own little mini breakout right now.
Yeah, you said the wrong stats when you talked about the 9 points, 3 rebounds. I don't care about those ones.
Yeah, I don't care
He got
either.
2 blocks. He got a steal.
How do you only have 2 blocks? I swear to God he had more.
He has a couple of them that he like misses,
Little
like
tip.
he'll tip it or like he like mistimes it,
Yeah.
and things. But like the thing that stands out for Peyton Watson is what you just said at the end. He's making up for other people's like mistakes,
Yeah.
and sometimes it puts him out of position where I think that's why he is late in rotation on sometimes, or he puts himself in a spot where he now is fouling because he's trying to get back to his spot, but he really is trying to hide. Deficiencies from other players, and that's what the good defenders do. And also, you talk about those high IQ players, it's starting to come a little bit more instinctual for him because he's playing more. He's getting to see, what the rotations look like. He's starting to see tendencies because he's getting so many more minutes. And this was a vital time for his development right now, is getting him as many minutes as possible against as many different good players as possible. Peyton Watson is, we talk about all these people that he has to defend. That's because he's in the NBA. Every single team has a very, very good player. He's their best defender right now. So he's getting a look at that, that type of guy. So like you have to tip your hat to anybody that's playing Christian Brown, like anybody that's playing defense at this type of level every single night, because these are the best basketball players in the world. But he's just finding ways to really just pop and stand out. And I truly don't care about the scoring. I just want it to be defensive effort, and he has been bringing that.
Where's he at on the best defenders on the team list? Probably still AG.
He's top dog for me.
I think he's one. I'm with
You
Dev.
think he's
I think
number
he's
one?
I think he's more versatile than AG. And I also don't. I say this with great respect to Aaron Gordon's contributions. It's not. I don't think we've seen that from Aaron for a little bit. Maybe we would if the playoffs started.
I think it's like mechanical with him. Like AG is kind of stiff. He's like for the stronger, like the bigger builds, in my opinion. You can't put him on a Ja Morant, because just his body, it shouldn't go that same way. Even though like in size they're kind of the same, but it's just the way that Peyton Watson's able to move his feet, as well as like not get back down every single time. So he has the strength as well as the speed and being able to like mechanically move. So that like that means something to me.
Yeah, it's the versatility for me as well. I'm with Dev. I think AG. I would pick AG to guard Luka. That strong, slow, stout. But in a Boston matchup, as we just saw, I think Peyton becomes so valuable. That's a guy. Now they didn't have Jokic in that game, so they could switch everything. But that's also a guy who's the switch. Oh, it's Tatum. I got this. Brown. I got this. Drew Holiday. I got this. Kristaps Porzingis. I got this. So to me, it's the versatility for Watson. And then I also think Watson came into the NBA as a defensive playmaker who you'd blow past him sometimes in college, but then he'd make this insane recovery block.
He's not getting blown by as much.
That's what I was getting at, is I think these next steps are, he has that insane margin for error, but I even think we're seeing the evolution to, it's less about I can block you when you beat me and just, you didn't even beat me this time. I think he's thinking the game a little more defensively, which is probably just everything slowing down because he's played more.
Yeah, but us having that, first off, where do you land on that argument?
I still think it's AG, because I think defense, as spectacular as you are, mistakes cost you so much, and AG just doesn't make a ton of mistakes, so it's still AG to me. But I also agree with you guys that if you want to shut down, like put somebody on, I think Peyton checks more boxes than AG in terms of the shutdown part of this.
Yeah. Having an AG, having a Peyton Watson, having a Christian Brown.
And Russ. I think the four of them, yep.
If you can get that going at the same time, that is going to be lethal. So really, this is important. And also having him in the mix right now. At the beginning of the year, no one would have said that. That's why I think that he has to be the best beneficiary of Jokic going out, because now we're having these arguments. We were not having these a couple of weeks ago.
Yeah.
So like having AG go down goes to say, oh, they have something there. Or you could argue if he is one of those. We were arguing for AG to be like a defensive player of the year at one point, at times. Peyton Watson hasn't got there yet, but he's on his way. So that matters.
Kale, do you have the updates from our poll?
Yeah.
Let's see what they are.
Westbrook got 48. PWat got 28. Strawther got 14. Jamal got 8.
That was the final?
Yeah.
That was the final.
That's
All right,
a
there
pretty
you go.
reasonable shakeout.
Westbrook, I think that's actually, I thought PWat and Strawther might be closer because Strawther was really good tonight. But you know what? That's probably the order I would go in as well. Westbrook, I won't even say impressed me the most because he had been impressing. So it's almost like I already put him in the category.
Yeah, sure.
You know what I
Sure.
mean? But nonetheless, it's fair. All right, let's take a break. On the other side, more guys to get to, including DeAndre Jordan. And Michael Porter Jr. is doing something that I absolutely love, and I think it's here to stay. We'll talk about it on the other side.
Strange things are afoot at the Circle K, Ted, like the new Inner Circle membership program. It's actually not that strange. It's super dope and convenient. If you like snacks, you're going to like Circle K. They have a lot of snacks. They were part of the Buff Stampede that we put on this year, hooking our homies up with some snacks. And right now it's Circle K, and they've got an app. You can find the Inner Circle membership program. That's what you're looking for. It's a free membership, easy to download. You give them your email and your phone number, and then they give you deals. Deals like 25 cents off per gallon on your next 5 fill-ups. That adds up. Find it in the app under Inner Circle Offers. Download the Circle K app and sign up for Inner Circle exclusive offers. New offers, purchase clubs, and sweepstakes are uploaded weekly. And how about our friends at Toyota?
Yeah.
It's so cool that this is when I knew we were big time, fellas. When we moved into the Toyota lounge here, we got this is a big boy sponsor. Toyota's the official vehicle of DNVR. Trucks have always been a part of Toyota's DNA, and we got some bigger trucks. Look at this thing. We have a big truck. We still have to You should
assemble
know.
or something.
Yeah,
but
you
it's
should
coming.
know that comes with a motor that we can put in it, and we can drive that sucker around.
Dude, I want a Toyota Tacoma remote control car.
The office is about to get way
RC
better.
races.
Can I
yeah.
have the scale?
You have to ask Courtney, but yeah.
Okay.
But they actually make these real life size. It scales up, and you can drive them whether you're conquering off-road trails or hauling the weight of the world. There's a Toyota truck that's just right for you, like the all-new 2024 Tacoma and the return of the iconic 2024 Land Cruiser. Visit your Front Range Toyota stores at a location near you. There is AutoNation Toyota Arapahoe in Centennial, Corwin Toyota in Boulder, Groove Toyota in Littleton, Mountain States Toyota in Denver, Stevenson Toyota East in Aurora, and Stevenson Toyota West in Lakewood. Toyota is a proud partner of the Denver Nuggets and the official vehicle of DNVR. Let's go places, boss.
Dude, I love this Tacoma, this little thing. And we also have a 4Runner. I feel like those are the Toyotas.
I think so.
Tacoma and the 4Runner. We got both of them. We're going to have to race
I would
them.
throw a RAV4 out there too.
RAV4 for sure. I mean, they got the great suite, but these ones to me that's like what I picture. Yeah,
This thing's heavy, man.
It's kind of cool though.
It's an undercarriage,
Looks
dude.
like I want to take this thing up to the mountains.
Yeah, I really do. Let it rip.
Four-wheeling. Let's talk about Michael Porter here. If you guys recall back in the day, wind the clock back to 2018. Michael Porter didn't know a good shot from a bad shot. He just took them all. And
Those were the days.
Those were the days. They were kind of fun. And he would take some crazy shots, but he was so good at hitting them. And it was like Mike had no conscience. He went out there thinking every shot was his. What was the meme, Mike? Don't swing the rock, Porter, or whatever. That guy, it kind of got beaten out of him a little bit, got beaten out of him. And I almost feel like Mike started here. Every shot's my shot. Then he went to here where it was almost like he was so in a box. It was like, hey, the team needs you to play a role. They want a title that way. But I always felt like the perfect one was here. And I just feel it was that Cavs game. I know it was because he talked about it. You could almost see as he was talking, a little light bulb appeared above his head where he was like, you know what? I think those threes, sometimes that quick
the
threes.
next night.
And then he started going. And ever since then, and I just feel like, he only took 5 threes tonight. That's below his average, although he only played 27 minutes.
That was it.
But he is also like, there's shots he takes almost every game since then that I'm like, oh, that's the old Mike. And he's hitting them, man. Because when he has that mentality of I'm a shooter, I got daylight, go for it, I just feel like he's as good as it gets.
He's not thinking about it at all. He's just letting it fly. It doesn't matter where his feet are. Like, he doesn't even be set, most of the time, but he's going through the same shooting motion that he's like, I feel comfortable doing this. And I truly do think that there's something to no one's upset with him for doing. Like Malone doesn't get frustrated anymore. There's not any rage timeout. There's nothing to the players are finding him for more of those shots. That there was something in him that said, "Fuck it, this is who I am. This is who I'm going to be." And since that day, he's been just shooting. And I think that's been great because it has opened up the rest of his game. Because once he lost that and he had to open up different parts of his game, it opened up for now. He has a floater. Now he's really good. His touch is incredible inside. He has a mid-range. So now it's a lot more to his game where now that the shot's there, it's returned back to him. He's like, okay, this is easy. This is who I am. So Michael Porter Jr. looks comfortable. He looks like himself. And I know that feels good. You're starting to see him smile a lot more.
It's a great point, Dev.
In a good mood.
It's a great point, Dev.
That's Michael Porter Jr. right now. And it's good. It's good to see for the Nuggets as well.
It's a really good point because the positive body language stuff we didn't see a ton of to start the year. I agree with that. I will say you guys are right about the timing. I wrote on this. It's up on the DNVR.com right now. Michael Porter Jr. is Letting It Fly is the title. And it is just a deep dive on what changed since the Cavs game. And the very next night he played the Pistons and he said, as you were just referring to, quote, "I think I'm just realizing what this team needs from me. And that's also getting up more threes, man." So ever since then, specifically off the DHO when he's going left, where he's really good. Don't think about that one, man. Just shoot it. And he's gotten that shot up since. There's something clicked for him confidence-wise, and I even think the way his teammates are approaching him has changed after that's changed. Murray was really looking for him a lot tonight, which is great to see.
Yeah.
Because I would wager, it's a bit of, hey man, he's open. If I pass this to him, he's going to shoot it, and it's probably going in. And maybe it's a little easier to just kind of feed him the ball when you know that indecision is kind of rectified.
Last 10 games for Michael Porter, 21.6 points per game, which is a little bit up from his season average. 57% from the field, 51% from three.
Ridiculous.
10 games. 10 games, man. That's a good chunk of games to be shooting 51%. That's Jokic numbers right there. He's been putting up to go along with 6 boards and 2 assists. He's just his shot to me just feels like it's in a rhythm we have not seen for several years, and it's exciting, man. It's really exciting, actually. DeAndre Jordan deserves a little bit of shine here tonight. 23 minutes for the old man. 12 points, 9 rebounds, 2 assists, and 2 steals. 0 blocks, 2 steals. But he's not doing anything crazy, anything flashy, but he is filling in really nicely, an impossible role to fill. Go replace Jokic. But he's doing a really nice job. He even has a couple of these backdoor.
I was just about to say, you're lying. He is doing some flashy things. His 2 assists, both of them were saucy. Both of them were saucy. One of them was a bounce pass, no look to Michael Porter Jr. for a dunk or a finish. I was like, I just kept on replaying that. But DeAndre Jordan, first off, we've talked about the non-Jokic minutes as a backup. They were electing to go with playing people out of position because they did not want to play DeAndre Jordan. And he rightfully earned the backup center minutes, but now he's showing up. And that was something that he just was not doing. He looked like he was on his way out of the league, very old. Right now, he does not look like that. He's actually competing. He's grabbing boards. He's, high IQ type of plays out there. He's passing and showcasing that. And he finished in this game. He typically does not finish. He's just going up there and making the foul count, he's getting the foul count up. But right now he's playing good basketball. This was a good DeAndre Jordan game. That's not tongue in cheek. He really had an impressive game for me in this one, and maybe he earns a couple of minutes. And then also, make it situational. I'm glad that they made these situational without Jokic because I think that's important.
Different lineups for each game. Yeah.
For each game, if you have a bigger guy like a Zubac, you put him out there. If there's not as big, let Saric go or let somebody else go. So DeAndre Jordan earned his minutes tonight.
I think the biggest thing for DeAndre with me is pretty easy to take for granted is the fact that he's worked hard to stay in shape over these last 3 years. And we've seen it. We get to travel and see some things even in training camps. DeAndre will be there after the practice is over getting work in. And I remember at a time where I just thought, I almost laughed. It's like, okay, there he is, but he's really here just to be a vibes guy. Except all of a sudden one day they call on you, and are you ready or are you not? I spoke with Russ about this briefly at practice the other day, and that was the biggest thing he wanted to say about DeAndre was just give him credit for putting the work in to keep his body ready. Because the truth is, this is a shocking amount of DeAndre Jordan to this point in the season, and I'm sure
more than I expected.
I'm sure his knees are feeling it too, but it's a suboptimal. It feels unfortunate that this is the backup center option, but credit to him for staying ready, and I think for doing a better job than the other two guys.
You guys know what we need, though, before the season ends? We need DeAndre to do one Sombor shuffle.
Just to be funny, too.
Just to do it, man. Like, he's almost at retirement age. I think it would be hilarious if he took, and even better if he made a Sombor shuffle.
Oh, my gosh. He wouldn't let it go. It would be the...
I don't think he'd do it, though.
Last year, he made the three-pointer, and he has the best three-point percentage in Nuggets history, and he has not done it again. Just get one.
Will never be passed.
Just get one under your belt and just retire it.
The Sombor shot, DeAndre busted that one. What would Malone do? It's like, what, are you going to bench him?
What is it? What is it? Well, you need those moments, right? Just the Mason Plumlee three.
Oh,
and
that's an all-timer.
Yeah, man. Yeah, but although... Yeah, I'd be here for it. He might turn an ankle trying it.
I wish Plumlee made more threes because this is even better than thumbs down. The little double head shake thing. It's incredible. Anybody? Oh, Dario Saric actually deserves a little mention here. 20 minutes for Dario tonight. Gets an opportunity these last two games and has looked good. He was a plus 11 tonight. 7.7 rebounds, 2 assists, 1 steal. Dario has had the toughest assignment, I feel, this year because he really hasn't gotten a ton of opportunity. Didn't look good in the little ones that he did, but I'm actually glad he's getting another taste of playing because you have to imagine what his year's been like. It's probably sucked.
Yeah, I mean, Vogt just talked about like a guy being ready when he's called upon. Dario was playing, and he had ideas that he was going to come to this team and actually get some minutes.
Yeah,
and then DMP'd for a very long time, and he could have given up or because he looked like he was done, like worst player in the NBA. Not lately. He's been playing himself out of that. And I mean, he's a professional. He doesn't drop his head. He doesn't, when things are not going his way, he still is giving energy. He's still trying. He's still playing. And when you get that type of opportunity, you have to show up. This was a game that he showed up. So now they had two of their big men play some minutes that were, a bit productive. That it's like, hey, maybe we can hide them for a little bit and get Jokic some rest. Or maybe on a night that, we don't have a Jokic, we have backup options that are serviceable. So, I mean, he proved to me that he is an NBA player, and I thought that was done.
Yeah. Dario, it's true. He does.
Yeah. I think, generally speaking, I have a same kind of tone on my Dario take, which is good for Dario.
But here's the thing, man. You're right. It's not like I'm like, he needs to be back in the rotation.
No. But I mean, okay, sorry, go ahead.
I was going to say, but it's nice when your third string gets an opportunity and they play well. It's like, hey, you need everybody at some point. So this feels like it could be a little bit of a, hey, I have to imagine if I was Dario, it's hard when you're not part of the team and you're not feeling it. And I feel like this is one of those things that makes you feel a little bit more like, okay,
that's right.
I contributed to some wins now.
That's exactly what I was getting at, man. He just got here. He signed here to play, and he's not playing. And with good reason, right? Not just to be clear, benching Dario was the right move. But good for Dario. I would wager this is not the most fun he's ever had playing basketball in his life this season. And I'm just glad he got a moment tonight just to hoop, just to play a game and not think about if I make one mistake, I'm never seeing the floor again.
Jamal Murray was a game-high plus 24 tonight. 21 points, 9 assists, 3 rebounds, a steal, a block. He gets the defensive player of the game chain as well, which I thought should have gone to PWat, but whatever. We'll give it to Jamal. Here's the thing. 21 and 9 is a good stat line. 34 minutes is a lot of minutes for a blowout win. 4 of 6 from 3. Jamal, the thing about it tonight was, even though Westbrook stole the show, Murray has these little runs in him, and they used to be bigger runs, and I think we're ramping up to it, but he has these little pockets in each of the last couple games, 2 minutes or something, where you're like, man, that sure looks like the old Jamal. Pull up in transition threes with confidence, nothing but net. Like, takes shots that you know are in just by the way he took them. We had runs of that tonight.
Yeah, it's truly mini flurries. It truly is. But that he's starting to feel a little bit better. I can promise you that this was the most fun that Jamal has had in like 2 years on the court.
Today?
Today.
Okay.
just looking at it from like the broadcast, he smiled the entire time. We got to see him interact with the crowd. We haven't seen him interact with the crowd. In he almost did, and that was having fun. He's joking. He's
Right.
He's jovial with his teammates. This was the first time I feel like him and Russell Westbrook had a moment on the court together where they're having fun with each other and playing alongside each other in that type of way. You talked about him going to find Michael Porter Jr. on a couple of shots. It's a couple games in a row where he's trying to find Michael Porter Jr. on shots, and that just typically was not happening early on. So, yeah, the scoring is down, but also I think that it's starting to be a bit more chemistry with teammates, which I think is important, and also he's showing that he can score at times. There was a couple of step-back shots in this one that he knocked down, and I was like, okay, the shot is coming back. He's also, like, feeling comfortable on isolation breakdowns where he's going through traffic. They're sending, they're trying to be aggressive with him, and it's not hurting him the entire way. This one, he didn't have his hands on his knees the entire time, even though he played so many minutes. So I really do think that there's like little things that you could see in these last few games that like says that, okay, he's starting to feel a little bit better. Do I want him to do better? Of course I do. But I think this was a happy game for Jamal.
Yeah. I think what a lot of people would like to see is consistency, right?
Yeah.
So it's a nice game. Do it for a couple weeks, I think is how a lot of people feel, and I think that's fair. Murray was good tonight. I thought I liked his approach. I thought he was a good playmaker tonight. I thought he was a good point guard tonight with some really, I was going to say supplemental scoring, but he actually led the team in scoring. Good. He looked confident. I liked the shots he did take. I felt like they were going in when he took them, and perfectly fair to be down on the year that Murray has had. I am, but at the same time, he was good tonight. So as you go one game at a time, Murray did what he needed to do tonight.
I thought this was a good game from him for sure, and I do feel like if he was at a 0% to start the year and 100% was him in the playoffs in 2023, I feel like he's getting like 60%. I don't want to say that he's close to here, but it's definitely a process that I'm like, we're turning a corner to where I'm starting to expect more and more and more from him, and I think it'll continue to rise. And it's meaningful that he was a plus 24 tonight. I know it's single game plus minus. There's a little randomness. Him being the highest, and then it's meaningful to me. All right, let's take a break. We got to go live to Harrison Wind from Ball Arena to hear what everybody had to say. Oh, yeah. It's not even a false break. I never remember if it's a false break. All right, no break at all. We're just going to keep going. Wind will be calling in a second. We didn't talk about – we have two more players I want to talk about. Christian Brown's the obvious one. 6 of 8 from the field, 15 points, 2 rebounds, an assist, and a steal. He's been like Strawther and PWat we have our eye on. Christian had a solid game tonight, 2 for 2 from 3.
Knocked them both down, butter type shots. I feel like it was 2 games or 2 spurts with Christian. One, he was very active early on, getting out on the break. He knocked down his shot, and he was active. Then there was like a stop where he was not, in it. And then I felt like Malone did a thing where he's like, no, I'm going to make sure that he stays involved because we want him to get back into a flow. He put him back out there to say, like, go and shoot the ball. Go and feel free. Go and play. So I think that was great, especially for a young player that's starting to hang their head at times. I feel like he started getting those shots going. So I think that this was a good Christian Brown game on both offense and defense. He was very active on, like, stripping balls or, keeping it in play, but also you need him to score at times, and this was a good scoring game. He finished with 15 points, 2 rebounds, 1 assist, and a steal, and that was despite having foul trouble early on. So I think this was good. You want him to get into the steps in the right direction with confidence.
Nothing on Christian. How about Jalen Pickett? The last guy, of course, I want to talk about him. Only garbage time tonight, but 2 for 2 from 3.
All right, I was going to ask you something.
Let's go
because my gut feeling is that you've probably watched more Jalen Pickett footage than I have.
Probably, yes.
Probably. How good of a 3-point shooter is Jalen Pickett?
He's worked on it really hard. It's been his biggest point of emphasis. And my whole thing was he's better than what his reputation was. Even Julian, if you look at his college splits, like early on, numbers weren't great, but guys, from 18 to 21, they become better. Jalen Pickett got better at it. And I just knew that was a thing that he knew was going to have to be a part of his game at the NBA level, and he improved it. I think he's a good 3-point shooter. I don't think he's a great one. But I don't think that's a weakness to him. You know, like the shots he's taking, I just think he'll be able to make those ones at a regular clip.
What about that second shot he took tonight?
He has a little bit of it in him. He has a little bit of it in him. Like, he just has control. So I'm not telling you he's a guy that's like, we need some shooting, get him on the floor.
No, but
it's
I'm
not
saying
that.
real game, real rotation, consequential minutes. He's open in the corner.
Knock it down. Give it to him. Why wouldn't you pass to him? He'll knock it down. He has good form. Again, it was only garbage time, but you know, the biggest thing too, man, so much of shooting is confidence, and he just has it back. Yeah, I do not think he had it from any point last year once the season began.
Among the most drastic cases I've seen up close, actually, of how much confidence can change things for people.
Aaron Gordon, we don't know when he'll return right now, but you presume Jokic comes back. If Denver gets AG and Jokic back, I almost feel like it would be the perfect time for this. You know, they have 2 games against the Mavs, although the Mavs will be very short-handed. Oh, we do have Wind? Oh, we have him from the arena? Okay, all right, let's go live to Harrison Wind before we break into the AG talk. Well, let's go to what Win from Baller. There he is. Oh, he's got a headset?
Is he on the court?
I mean, Kale's just going on me way before I'm ready. Like, come
we
on.
can't hear.
And it seemed like he had some fire on that one. He's
I know.
smiling.
All right, keep it, Harrison. All right, ready. We're going to go live to Ball Arena with Harrison Wind, who has headphones on.
Well, Kale went to me way before I was ready. So, I mean, this is on him.
Look how rattled he is. Look how
This is on super producer Kale right here.
Hey, you called in. I got the green button on the side of the production thing.
I love it. I kind of liked it, though.
I mean, I would think after I call in, you maybe look at my camera, see where it is, see if I'm set up. I don't know.
Give it to him, Harrison. Give it to him.
The crazy part is he did. He said, well, Harrison just walked away from the camera. He doesn't even want to be here right now.
Fun game.
Well, I'm here, I guess. So let's do it.
Let's do it.
Yeah, no, that was a really fun game, man. I mean, it felt like the Nuggets were going to win this game from like the first couple minutes. They came out with a great energy, a great intensity, and they played hard. I felt like my big takeaway last night was the Nuggets played hard against Boston, and you hadn't always gotten that every game this year. Tonight, I felt like they played hard again. Like, they played with energy from the opening tip, and I feel like they punched first, and that's why they won, or a big reason they won tonight.
Yeah, I agree, man. I agree. Also, the Clippers were pretty flat tonight. Clippers were pretty flat.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, you really wonder like where their heads are at with everything going on back in Los Angeles. But Denver came out and played great, and yeah, I mean they got some big performances, no doubt.
So real quick, who has impressed you the most in these 2 games without Jokic, relative to where they were at prior?
I mean, back-to-back really good games from Julian Strawther.
Yeah.
And it felt like he really needed a nice stretch here, you know, especially with the trade deadline in like a month. So he's been really good in back-to-back games. I mean, here's one. DeAndre Jordan's been pretty good at backup center.
Really
sure
good.
has.
Pretty good in the starting lineup tonight.
On the list.
I'll say that.
Yeah.
I'll say that. So he might be my answer, to be honest.
What's your ranking of Julian Strawther's celebration thumbs down?
I don't know what it is. Is it Gladiator? Is that it?
We think.
Seems that way.
I like it. I like it a lot.
Good. All
Strong
right.
agree.
Our guy.
But that means
Yeah, I
kill
like
him,
it.
right?
Kill him. Yeah, kill him. All right, take us inside the locker room.
So Michael Malone obviously really happy with the defense. He loved the energy that the Nuggets played with, and of course he was shouting out the defense from everybody. He had some great things to say about Russell Westbrook, how hard he plays, how relentless he plays, and he said, "Look, Russell Westbrook always plays hard, but he plays a little bit harder against the Clippers." And it definitely felt like in these, especially last 2 games against the Clippers, man, Russell Westbrook is out to kill. Like, he is out for blood in these games. And that play where he got the free throw coming from the 3-point line, and they were whistled for a lane violation, and then he got it again. Like, that was symbolic of the effect Russell Westbrook has had on the Nuggets this year. And so, like, that was a play Michael Malone talked about as well. He shouted out Jamal Murray, Christian Brown, pretty much up and down the roster, Julian Strawther. Michael Malone in a great mood tonight, of course.
He's got to be in a great mood, man. All the Nuggets are good.
Yeah. And then we spoke with Russell Westbrook, and, part of his press conference was about how great he played and just the atmosphere tonight. And then another part, he was asked about the fires back home, and he said everything with his family is good, but obviously he knows a lot of people that, have lost stuff. And so, his mind was in both places tonight, back home in LA and here. But he was asked about if he plays hard against the Clippers. If there's anything else there. He said, no, I play hard against every team. So he wasn't going there with that.
Fact check, true.
It is true.
Yeah. And then he was also asked about that free throw where he got the offensive rebound. And he said, look, I told Zoo, I'm going to get this one. There's nothing you can do about it. And then he missed, and I got it, and there was nothing he could do about it.
Man, it's so wild. How many times do you think he uses that? I feel like never. I just feel like he was right that time.
He just mistimed it first, and he was like, I'm going to work harder than you now.
A big part of it, I think, shout outs to our guy, was knowing deep to his core that DeAndre Jordan was missing both of those free throws. I would say that's a big part of it.
Yeah.
That was very important in the play, for sure. Yeah, for sure. And then we spoke with Jamal Murray as well, who was in a great mood after this win, too. And
really,
Jamal was asked what was with the fake Blue Arrow celebration. And he said, look, man, I can't remember the last time I made 2 threes in a row. I was just excited about it.
It's a good quote.
Love it, man. Love that.
Yeah. And then another good one from Jamal. He was asked about the difference between running the 2-man game with Nikola Jokic versus DeAndre Jordan. And he said, look, when it's DJ, I'm going to keep it. I'm going to score.
That's hilarious. That's actually pretty funny.
Yeah. But Jamal was in a really good mood after this one. I mean, a great vibes win. Everybody had a good night, it seemed. And, my big takeaway from this game, but also the last game, playing well without Nikola Jokic, I feel like is a big confidence booster for a lot of guys on this team. And they did it last night against Boston. That was big, I felt like, for the confidence. And tonight to get like a blowout win against a decent team. I feel like it should just be a really big confidence booster for these guys.
100%, man. Good stuff from the arena tonight win. Thank you so much. Get home safe.
See you guys.
We'll see you on Friday. So just to round out real quick, I don't know if Aaron Gordon's coming back. I don't know if Jokic is coming back. I would imagine Jokic, if he's sick for 4 days, I might start to get a little worried here. But I'll imagine he's back against Brooklyn, and it just feels like to round out the home stretch, this homestand, it'd be awesome to get the full band back together for a game.
Wouldn't that be nice?
It'd be incredible.
Really, and then if you got some like a vibey win off of that one, it really starts to become like hope. Like, okay, now we're starting to get it together. Now we're putting it together. Because really, if you don't have like those wild losses, you would feel like confident and okay with this team right now.
Yep.
Like the stretch that they're putting together. It's just the teams that they lost to and just like the inconsistency. But if you get everybody back and you're healthy, you're like, okay, we're starting to look like the team that we want to be. So really that it is going to come at a good time, especially off of this stretch right now of winning without Jokic, finding ways to compete against, good teams without your best player, and then also getting your defensive anchor back as well. So yeah, that would go a long way.
And the Nets are terrible. They're 14-3 in their last 17. Only teams they've beaten in that span: Toronto and the Bucks twice. Somehow they beat the Bucks twice.
3-14.
They've won 3 out of their last 17. They're 14-3.
I see. Yeah, I thought you said 14-3, and I was like, that sounds good.
No, well, they've lost 14.
I see. Yeah.
So that should be. I mean, knock on wood, nothing's easy, but that one should be a win. It'd be great to get the whole band back together. We got any super chats tonight, Kel?
Awesome.
People were feeling it. Hump day.
Let's do it. Vroom. All right. This one's from Porter Friend. Celtics are lucky we didn't unleash Pickett on them.
They are lucky, man.
They are lucky. You don't want to give up your playoff looks in the regular season. Keep those cards close to your chest. Druid trading. No back-to-back. No back-to-backs in the playoffs. Well,
that is. We'll have to cross that bridge when we get there.
Yeah. Josh Barnett from Down Under. Told you, legends, 2025 is the year of Jamal Murray. Fire it up, Kel.
No.
Shout out to our Aussies that were in the bar. Every time, another night, another pair of Aussies in the bar.
Met some more Australian Nuggets fans.
They're homies,
unbelievable.
man.
So cool.
They are cool. Ryan B says DeAndre cooking. Also, Jamal almost busting out the arrow. Maybe the most confidence-inspiring thing he's done all season.
And he
Blue arrow.
joked about why. He's like, I did 2 in a row. I love it.
Cedric exquisite. No Adam, no Vogt, no Kale, no Eric, no Josh from nowhere, no RP43, no Kale. Hashtag shut up and take my money. Good show, Wind, if you're watching. Need Jokic back ASAP.
I love it. You know what? He always does this to us. I love that now Josh Barnett got a no.
Rope him in.
Rope him in.
You're in
man.
here too now, Josh. Joe in Philly. I didn't have, quote, Russ takes over games, end quote, on my 2024-2025 Nuggets bingo card.
Oh, I know D-Line loved that one.
Everybody skips Eric, Russ, and PWat. 8-ball. Miss you, Windy Babe. Come back.
You know what? Is this going to start being Julian? You know how everybody has?
Yeah, the
I guess
thumbs down.
But he's also the strawberry. So I don't know. You have
May
to
have
pick
to be
one.
the thumbs down. It's so good.
It's good.
Jeremy, J-Rock, Michael, Jokic knew, read his book, listen to Yoke, number 4, or read his book.
It's the same spelling. It's
yeah,
hard.
it's tough. Druid Trading, Jamal is SGA with a 3-point shot and playmaking abilities. I don't know, man.
Well, they are both Canadian.
That is true.
Yeah.
I also love that our old stars are such value, money, production, and not a Butler Beal.
Yeah. Well, there you go.
Big Honey, Dario was plus 11. Devilishly good tonight.
Devilishly.
He was
man.
pretty good.
Oh, was he the devil?
He was
Yeah,
the
that's
devil. Yeah,
right.
that's a good
Ooh.
reference. Chat gets the show, man.
They really
Jeremy
get the
J.
show.
Rock, Michael Malone is a great coach. He understands humans. Number 4.
Well, I like it.
Connor Fagan. I said it yesterday, and y'all thought I was being sarcastic. I believe in Maul. Only one player has ever met Jokic at the summit, and he will again.
It is true, man. Yep, Murray at his absolute apex is an insane player.
Port a friend, Malone pretending to rush DJ to sub in for Zeke with 20 seconds left is a season highlight for me. Hashtag all the Nuggets are
That was
good.
hilarious. It was the play where Zeke went to go, like, he touched
Oh, and
it
he
and it went
touched
out
it
of bounds.
Did he really?
And he act like he was about to throw him in. Then he gave him a handshake because they thought the joke was good.
That's awesome.
Malone's a bit of a bully, man.
Oh, yeah, dude. But
Malone's definitely stuffed some
he's a character.
people at a locker
Yeah,
before.
for sure. From the world with love, longtime lurker here.
Oh, I love
Jokic
these.
brings the beauty. Westbrook brings the energy.
Correct.
Sometimes it's ugly, but damn it, he looks happy doing it.
It is true.
Happy he found a home in Denver. Wishing a great 2025 to you all.
Hey, thank you so much. We always love hearing from the first timers.
55555-ish. We are almost 18% of the way there. 95 minutes and 46 seconds down. Only 459 minutes and 14 seconds until 555 minutes. I hate you for making me do this every night. Westbrook is so damn fun. Is Jamal Ack? Get well soon, Jokic. All the Nuggets are good.
We might have to
love
update
'em.
this to getting to 55.5% of 555 minutes.
It's so good.
Can we get there?
Yeah, it's the augmented
We might
goal.
get there.
Mike P, what more does Jalen Pickett have to do to earn rotation minutes? He has a plus 10 net rating, 43% from 3, leads the team in assists per 36, and has a 4.1 assist to turnover ratio.
It's not my burner.
I
I
was
promise
gonna
you guys.
ask.
I promise you guys it's not. The
Mike
truth is he
P.
does not have a role in the rotation. But what I think he has done is that when there's an opportunity, because there's an injury or
Yes.
what have you, I think the team is going to feel a lot more comfortable saying, you know what, Jalen's playing 15 minutes tonight.
That's good framing. Zayem Beg, Nuggets blowout win without Jokic. Broncos in the playoffs. Lo-fi beats back for ad reads. Jamal is back. All the Nuggets are good again. Life is good.
Did
right
you
now.
see that note? They love the beats,
lo-fi.
man. They
Super
love
producer
it.
Kale.
Hell yeah! Shout out to the super producer.
RP43, after tonight's games, Jokic is now the NBA's leading scorer. New career milestone unlocked. Can he keep it up?
Jokic is now the NBA's leading scorer.
Yeah, Giannis didn't score 29 or however much he needed, so his dropped.
Really?
Average. We're talking average,
Jokic really
right?
the
Yeah, it's
leading
average.
scorer?
Yeah.
Hold on a second. Time out. It's like MVP. We all want it. We have this.
This is what he's getting at.
How bad do you want Jokic to be? You don't want him to sacrifice anything. You just want him to play his game. But it'd be pretty cool if he was a scoring champ.
If it comes with wins, I'll take it. I will truly take it.
A scoring title is genuinely the thing that, like, I never even in my wildest dreams entertained.
This is my point.
Actually, I want it. I want it
I was
back.
gonna say I
Now
think
I
I
think-
wanted the first MVP more. I might have wanted the second MVP more, but right now I'm kind of like I kind of want
I would do
the scoring title.
the scoring title is way better because it was always the caveat of best passing big.
Yeah, you're like, man, this dude led the team in score, led the league in scoring.
Led the league in scoring with big scores at a time that scoring is way up.
It also makes me wonder, like, could Jokic win Defensive Player of the Year one year? It might really
that's
be like
probably the line, but yeah,
I'm saying,
no, I get it.
it might
I
just
get
be
it.
like Wilt, where we're like, he actually could do anything.
Oh, yeah.
It's just,
Yeah,
he'll be 37. There'll be a new number 1, and he's like, all right, I'll just be the defensive anchor.
I do think in his last year, Jokic will try to set the record for most assists without scoring.
That'll be
That
his
I
goal.
think he will go get. Diz, kind of unrelated, but I think Justin Holiday is living with Aaron Gordon right now. Most obvious ever free agent signing.
These guys have a lot of money to be bunking up.
Yeah, that's a great. That's a great
That's
point.
like
That's a really
hey
good
man,
point.
you got a spare room.
Maybe they were just hanging out.
Holiday can't be that young either.
That's what I'm saying. I don't think. Did he have kids too?
Yeah, I don't know
But
if
I
he's-
do think he's around. And look, I've said it. I've said it, man. I would not be surprised. The sad thing is, for yours truly, Jalen Pickett might just be playing himself into tradability because that contract is not anything. You know, it's that tiny little deal. It is possible that he's just playing well enough to be like, hey man, this guy deserves a shot. And some teams like, all right, looks all right this year. We'll take a look.
And here's a pick, and then you're like, all right, now we're gonna go send Justin
Or
Holiday.
more, it's like Zeke and something else.
Yeah,
and we're like,
yeah,
we'll
yeah.
take it.
The boy's dad, so fun to
I hope
play
not.
with
I love him.
with a full on go for it mentality. Thanks, Russ.
Well,
Corner being turned, probably getting another without Jokic Friday. So LFG PS, shoot it, Dario.
I think Jokic should be back. How
I
sick
think
can
he'll
he
be back. It doesn't make sense not to.
Fred Baggins. So no more trade MPJ talk. Thank God. Watching you guys late night from Peru. Salute. Thank you, Fred.
Nothing makes me happier than when people tag Vogt saying, you wanted to trade him?
You done trying to trade MPJ vote? Like, yep. Sean Croissant. Bestbrook, huh? Sounds familiar. Did Sean coin this in a previous chat? I'm happy to give you credit, Sean. You paid for it, so you can have it. Super dope hip hop. Joker card, one of my favorite players ever, and is why I'm here. But Maul a Joker merchant is a lie.
It's a lie.
Maul last 7 years without Joker since 12-17. Averages
Very specific date.
averages 21, 7, 6 with 2 stocks and a 60 true shooting percentage. And he's a +6. The Nuggets are 7 and 8 via StatMuse. Check me. Respect.
Check me. I love that he the little challenge in there,
Oh,
too.
yeah.
You want to check my stats?
Super dope hip hop. I'm never checking you. I firmly believe you've spent more time on it than I have. You know, it's not a coincidence that guys played with less pressure with Jokic out. I love Jokic, but I think this year especially he needs to chill out.
Could be, man. It could be.
Maybe. I also just think when Jokic plays, there is an order of operations that just
Yep.
makes a lot of sense.
Yep.
I don't.
You know, I was going to use another jazz reference.
Maybe next show.
I already did Whiplash. I'll sit this one out.
Easy E. I wish I had 4 hands so I could give the Nuggets 4 thumbs down.
You
So
gotta get that
true.
one?
That's how I give this Nuggets game. Thumbs down. It was awesome.
Mr. Tembo. I wish I had 4 hands so I could give the Nuggets 4 thumbs up. Smiley face.
4 thumbs up. I love it. Is that it? That's it? All right, cue that outro music. Another great night to be us.
Hey, man, don't give up on this team. They're putting some things together.
They really are. Also, some good news for everyone else. Everyone sucks in the NBA right now, minus the Celtics, the Thunder, and the Cavs.
It's very true.
That's the only teams that don't suck right now.
Oh, it's lucky to be us then.
It is lucky to be us, man. Everybody, thanks so much for tuning in. Thanks. Shout out to Dream Creation Media, by the way. Our homie Carol was in the building tonight. She's one of our... I always say, so you guys are free to comment how you like. We are used to it. We've been on the internet now for a long time, taking all things. But we always love the homies that are the encouraging ones, you know? And none more than our girl Carol. She's always saying nice things. And again, you can say what you want. Be honest. We want you to be yourself.
I
But
love
it does feel nice.
positivity, and
Yeah.
I like nice people. Genuinely nice people. And that's what she is.
That's what she is, man. So shout out to all the homies. Everybody hit that like button on the way out. We'll see you on Friday.
We all silly like the mayor.